Hello. So today I wanted to chat to you a little bit about how to map out a customer journey. So a lot of the people that I work with are trying to work out what their free gift is, what their way of getting in touch with their ideal client is, getting to build their trust before they can position their more higher value offering with them. Now, if you don't know who you're actually working with and what you want to, what you can actually package up as the solution to their problems, then go and watch my Scale of Readiness video as well as my one-to-one-to-one video, and that will give you a really good idea of that. So saying that you've actually watched those vids and you now know who you're targeting and what kind of starting to get around the idea of what might be their lowest hanging fruit problem that you can solve right now, I want to take you through what goes on in my mind when I think through the customer journey and to getting them to the point of conversion to my high value offer. So I'm going to give you an example of, well, let's just work with one of my clients. So my clients right now, they've got a bunch of problems. So I'm going to give this a name right here on this video right now. This is the wavy line customer journey. I don't really care what I call things. Does it make sense to you? Let's see. So I kind of think about it as voids and solutions, basically. Who knows how long this customer journey will go on for, but for now it's starting here. So my client right now has a problem where their referrals are drying up. They've been in business for a couple of years and they have kind of tapped out all the really easy wins, and they're really dependent on referral partners, which doesn't give them a lot of certainty. They're kind of freaking out that if one of those referral partners pulls out on them, then they're really screwed as far as scaling or growing their business. In fact, they're contracting. And on top of that, therefore, employees security is up the part. There's a lot of pressure on this person right now. More often than not, they are an expert in their field and they've got no idea how to actually create their point of difference and market that. So therefore, what messaging to use to solve the problem of their ideal client. And often that is the biggest problem for them is that messaging. So what do they put out on social media? What do they put out on digital channels to attract the solution? To attract the ideal client that's going to spend money with them, right? So get on and have some of those sales conversations. So when I look at that, I think to myself, okay, I'm going to write an ad around the concept of solving the fact that, hitting into their pain points about the fact that they're reliant on one referral partner. But the very first thing that I'm going to solve for them is before they can even, it seems like the most obvious problem to solve is more leads, right? But when you go back a step and think, okay, more leads, how am I going to get them more leads, or how are they going to get themselves more leads? They really need to know what to say to prospects in order for them to want to engage with them. So here I'm going to create them a solution which might be an audio download or some sort of free gift, PDF download or something like that, on how to work out the right messaging to get your ideal client to want to have a conversation with you. So this is the problem I'm going to solve. 4 steps to solving messaging to your ideal client. That sounds like a really bad download name, and I'd obviously spend some more time coming up with something really great. But that's the idea of what I'm going to solve in that. So that's my first pain point. Okay, cool. But now that they know that they have solved that problem through the messaging, and I might have taught them how to do a bit of a split test on Facebook or something like that, right? So now they understand what their avatar is talking about and what their ideal, what their biggest pain is. Then they're probably going to say, great, now I've got them. How do I have a sales, or now that they've responded to this thing, how am I going to have a sales conversation with them? So here, suddenly their new problem becomes how to sell to them, how to sell them a larger ticket, a higher value offer, how to get them to be a client for life. because once I've spent all this money getting a lead, I want to retain them. Great. So the next solution to that is going to be, okay, why don't we jump on a strategy call and I'll tell you how to sell to them, how to create a high value offer, and how to keep them as a client for life. So in here, I'm going to position my strategy call with all of that copy in that landing page when I'm selling that. If I then wanted to go on and try and make some money back right now from some Facebook ads, in here I might position something that's just a little bonus add-on to that. So it could be get my 5 hot sales calls tips right now for, I don't know, $49 or something like that. Because I've already talked about it back here. So I've already said that they're going to have this problem, and I've already told them how to solve that problem. But if you want to kind of get an immediate fix right now, then jump in here and do that. Here, I might send them to a calendar link of mine or something like that. So that's a very simple way to, I'm very visual, so maybe you guys are too, but this wavy line kind of is really showing you the voids that they're going to have, and really thinking about, what do I teach them? So siloing that information. What do I teach them here? What problems do they have here? And what am I going to teach them here? And what am I going to hold back and teach them here? And what am I going to hold back here and teach them here? And you can do this for putting people through to sales calls, putting people through just to free gifts and downloads, or you can even map out this whole thing for an entire product staircase for your business. Or it could be, what am I going to teach them in the first free workshop, and what am I going to save for the next bit? So really thinking about the silos of what you're going to put in where, and then what's the natural next step that this person's going to need? It's a really beautiful visual way of thinking that through. I came up with that myself. You can thank me later. All right, see you on the next vid.